Come on, you got it.
I'm going to bed before either of you think of another clever way to get us killed, or worse, expelled.
Gosh, she's beautiful.
Welcome back.
Good to be back.
So I've been really sitting back and looking at the vernacular of the world, the entire ecosystem of superheroes and all that. And what really pondered upon my quarry is why the fuck is nobody talking about Gen V as one of the best superhero shows on TV? This shit is actually gas. Long backstory short, I've been so turned off of all superhero TV media. If it's not a movie lately, I have not been watching it. Peacemaker 2, Daredevil 4, Marvel Zombies, respectfully, you can keep it to yourself. And I'm not tired of superheroes, hell no. If Invincible earlier this year showed me anything, is that I don't think I'll ever get tired of the superhero story. This was one of my favorite shows this year, and I've watched basically every superhero film to date this year. It's just that when it comes to long form TV shows right now, I don't think anybody is doing it like Amazon Prime right now for the superhero genre. This isn't a tired ass superhero fatigue discussion. This doesn't exist. This was always fake.
It's fake! It's fake!
This is a boring media discussion. The show that reminded me why I even cared about superhero TV in the first place since Invincible just dropped is literally Gen V. And I still don't know why my timeline isn't littered with Gen V stuff. Cause this show has not lost a beat to me. This universe really hasn't lost a beat to me. But you know, that's a video for another time. Today though, we're breaking down both seasons, and I'm putting you on game if you don't already know what makes Gen V one of the best written spin-offs in years. Why these characters are better written to me than what they're doing in The Boys right now. Because despite me praising this universe, that last season got a lot of stuff that I got problems with. But like I said,
Next time, baby.
and how this all sets up The Boys season 5. And why you should give a damn about this universe. Because it truly feels like the showrunners and storytellers really care. And I can't say the same for the big two in the superhero world that consistently.
I need you to lock in. Lock in!
Season 2 was supposed to be a friends only watch, but for some reason Gen V just kept living in my mind rent free. It felt like me and my circle was the only ones talking about it that I could really see. One of the biggest things I remembered loving since dropping into this universe again is all the ads, the fake charities, the Instagram sponsorships.
Fab Five Freddy told me everybody's fly. DJ spinning, I said my.
How they do promotional work.
Like, I tell you what, you get better and I'll teach you to run as fast as me.
Yeah?
Yeah?
You'll teach me to outrun cancer?
The Vault News Network propaganda. It all makes sense for this world, and I love that shit. Godolphin University fits perfectly into this world. It's where you learn how to be a brand first and a superhero second. And I love how the writers never shackled themselves to the comics. All of these characters could be originally canon for all I give a damn, because I am not reading that shit.
How about that?
I can already tell that what they do is they probably pick all the good ideas from the source material and then just remix it a little bit into something more human for the show. That's why The Boys is probably one of the best adaptations that's actually better than the source material of all time. Gen V doesn't treat Compound V as a magic superhero serum that's a blessing for everybody that gets it. It treats it like a trauma generator with a marketing budget. And I low-key feel like it's more on display here than it is in its sister show. They're not trying to adapt the comics panel for panel. They're building something that stands on its own. And season 1 of Gen V immediately told you what kind of show this was about to be.
I said, damn, bitch!
Every power in this show and in this universe is a trauma metaphor. Marie cuts herself to fight. Emma's shrinking and growing abilities are chained to her body image and overall emotional perception of herself, because she's a damn freshman in college. Jordan literally shifts gender when they shift confidence moods. and I like how that's displayed so subtly usually in the show. Jordan feels more comfortable in a female form, especially for sentimental and vulnerable moments like bonding with people, because women are naturally more nurturing. Season 1 didn't just prove that the show could work, it genuinely proved that it could stand right next to The Boys as far as enjoyment goes. The Woods mystery, the school politics, the twist with Kate, all of it came together into one of the most enjoyable first season experiences of any superhero series in years for me. And I'm standing on it. I'm gassing it up. I am 10 toes on this half of my feelings for this show. It probably only mainly stems because I do watch parties for this show, and I genuinely usually have such a good time. I implore y'all to do the same. This show and this universe is very fun with friends, because when you get to the big twist in season 1,
It's you! It's you!
I genuinely did not see that coming. And I don't know how I didn't see it coming. Her powers are too strong just to be a background gimmick, but they played it off very well. That was such a fun reveal and betrayal, and it makes it obvious in hindsight. Golden Boy's death being in the pilot episode, punch in the face, reminds you what type of show you're watching, because you deadass actually think he's gonna be a part of the show long term, and then he just explodes himself. I love how they were still picking bro off the ground in later episodes. That's so messed up. Season 1 felt very focused. It balanced the satire and the chaos of this universe with these surprisingly very, very emotional arcs. And yes, the show is still unnecessarily nasty as hell. It really is nasty for no reason.
What's he gonna do? Oh! He's pulling his cock out!
The way they connected Marie's powers to Victoria Newman's was so cool as well. Nothing in season 1 felt forced. It just clicked and honestly made sense as a sister series for The Boys. But I don't want to tickle your balls for too long. I want to talk about my favorite part about this series. The characters.
We're fucked up.
Let's start with Marie. Now, I like her as our main lead, even if I don't love her as much as some of the other characters. I feel like her potential in the role of the overall universe is so damn interesting. It's probably the most interesting thing about her. It's just simply scary just how many ways they can go with her power set. Season 2 basically treats her like the chosen one now of the Vault universe.
I am a god.
The only person whose powers could actually rewrite what Compound V does to people. She's not just a bloodbender anymore. She's a walking symbol for control versus chaos, and could deadass probably cure cancer. She's actually fucking broken. One of my least favorite parts about her character that for some reason has become much more aggravating than I thought it would be. I don't know. When you're introduced to Marie in the pilot, when she unlocks her powers, she kills her parents by accident. And then is shipped off to an orphanage, and that's a main plot point throughout the course of the show for her, trying to see her family again, trying to see her sister again. And the whole "you killed my parents" narrative still haunting her is good. It's just the fact that her own family making her feel so guilty about it is so fucked up and nonsensical. I don't even understand it.
The only thing that I want is for you to be safe. Marie, anything bad that has ever happened in my life has been because of you.
Huh?
All these years you kept her from me? Do you know how fucked up that is?
Marie, we were afraid of you. You massacred your parents. She didn't want to see you.
Are you serious? Is she serious?
Her aunt makes her feel like an ass about it. Her sister makes her feel like an ass about it. It just doesn't make sense to me. It's trauma, guilt, and media manipulation all rolled into one. And it's kind of weird because you know she had no clue what was happening, right?
Something just hit me. Shoot. Are you mixed race? No.
I'm pretty sure Jordan is probably my second favorite character. They're one of the most unique in superhero media for me, period. I love how the gender switching isn't just a cool gimmick. It's a simple reflection of identity, of pressure, and how they see themselves, as well as probably being raised in a bigoted Asian household that places high value on men instead of women.
I'm no bigot. I get a lot of kids don't have a choice, but you do. You can be a boy forever if you want. Sometimes I think you change into a girl just to spite me.
Paul, stop.
Not a boy, Dad. Not all the time.
And considering this character literally identifies as both, that's something I generally have never seen before in superhero media. And I'm low-key curious, write in the comments right now the places you have seen this in superhero media, because The Boys, all in all, is a subversion of classic superhero stories, so there's no way Jordan's power set is completely original. Somebody's had to have done it, right? Season 1 gave them ambition and insecurity. Season 2 gives them a whole lot more self-awareness and guilt, and I love that. I'm not really sure whose idea it was to give my man this yee ass haircut though.
His ends swoop like. You will be missed. This hair will be missed. I mourn this loss today.
What's your name, B.O.B., so they calling you Bob? Stop playing, you know that I'm.
I get why they did it. Probably easier for the VFX team when switching forms, but still.
Look how they massacred my boy.
But what really sells me on Jordan's complexity is how they handle their relationships. You can tell because of their insecurities, they're really bad at articulating love because they don't even know how to love themselves properly based on how everyone else views them. I love the callback in season 1 when Marie says this to them.
We have to believe she's on our side. And you gotta stop turning into a dude when you want to make a point to us.
Fine.
Fine.
And then the culmination of that in season 2, where they stand up in front of a giant audience, reveal all of the secrets, and instead of doing it as a guy, they turn back into a woman. I like that shit. Emma is one of those characters that kind of sneaks up on you. Her powers could have been a gimmick, throw up, shrink, whatever, but having it all tied into the body image and anxiety and control of a young social media influencer is such a cool inverse of this power that could have been so damn stereotypical. The fact that she literally changes size based on how she feels about herself is very smart writing. Her powers are really damn simple, but the meaning behind them hits harder than any Ant-Man movie to me. Oh! You actually did deserve that strike. I'm not gonna apologize for it. I love Sam's evolution. It makes perfect sense. You strip away somebody's empathy and lock them in a cage for half their life. Seeing Sesame Street characters and shit.
What the fuck?
Season 2 focuses on making him feel human again after his Looney Tunes ass shenanigans in season 1. He's not redeemed at all, not forgiven for everything he's done. He's just understood a whole lot more now. And that's so much more interesting because I really appreciate how they could have just made him an antagonist like I originally thought, but instead they chosen to give him a lot more closure than I honestly expected. Kate is a fucking mess and she's probably my favorite character. Maybe there's something about the actress that just something about how she does her work, something. Kate is tragic, she's manipulative, she's powerful, and her arc feels almost earned. Her backstory is genuinely one of the funniest and most horrifying ways to find out you have superpowers.
My little brother kept kicking at my shins, so I grabbed him by the arm and I told him to go away and never come back. So he did. He just walked right into the woods. That was the first time my power showed up. I didn't know.
Oh, that's fucked up.
And I appreciate how season 2 does a really good job of making her face the same kind of fear and manipulation she inflicted on the others. Her co-character in season 2 is playing a lot of the victim until she gets bonked on the head and becomes uncomfortably self-aware without her powers. And yeah, maybe I forgave her a little too easily, personally. Maybe Snow Bunny mind control actually is a thing.
You're in love with a white woman. Congratulations. You have had your melanin snatched. Your melanin has been snatched, and you can go head over to the Ice Kingdom. We no longer need you.
Losing Andre hurt both in the story and in real life. It genuinely feels like when you watch the show that his dad's storyline was originally supposed to be his. It just felt like that in a bunch of different moments.
I've been on the training for Gen V season 2. It's been kicking my ass, dude.
You've been trained. How often do you train?
I'm training 6 days a week. Sometimes 2 a day, depending on how I feel.
Why, do you have to have your shirt off a lot?
Well, the plan is to come back looking like a superhero because the first season, all shit breaks loose in the college. And so now I'm, the characters are in the real world. So I think it's superhero time.
Chance Perdomo's death was tragic, and you can tell the writers adjusted with respect. They didn't just gloss over the fact that he's not here. They used it to deepen the season's themes of grief and legacy, and I feel like they did a pretty good job at honoring him. So with that said,
Stop it! You're spoiling it! You're spoiling everything!
Season 2 is off to a strong ass start. One of my favorite aspects of Gen V is a good case as to why more shows should take place on college campuses. I always felt like this was a really good plot point for dramatic storytelling and believable mistakes, because they're college students and therefore all idiots. There have been so many completely audibly stupid ass mistakes this season that any grown adult with a full frontal cortex would have clocked and sidestepped. And the funny part about it all is that these superpowered individuals making so many mistakes dials back into the commentary of this world, with everybody thinking just cause you have powers you can do whatever you want. I love that these kids thinking because they have powers means they can just break into fucking maximum security prisons.
What the fuck?
Trap, I fucking told you.
Not a great plan.
Break into people's houses and not think about getting caught on camera or nothing. They did this shit like 3 times, mind you.
We live in a world of cameras, moron. I saw you. Unacceptable. And Cypher, he wants to meet with me. Fuck!
What do you mean, fuck? No shit, he got cameras. I also loved how the show had a couple episodes this season with themes that all tie back into all of the characters. The theme of accountability is a very big thing. In episode 3, you got Harper, the girl that can steal people's powers, putting up those Starlighter things that keeps getting that barista girl harassed. Sam and Jordan talking about everything they've done. Marie and her whole situation. Even with Kate and Sam, and even the big moment at the end of the episode with Jordan singing all of everybody's dirty laundry. It feels like everybody in this episode is taking some form of complete accountability for everything.
You're right, okay? We've hurt people. I hurt Luke when I pushed him too much. And I can't do that to you anymore, okay? I'm sorry.
And I'm so over this superhero fatigue bullshit. No, we are not tired of superhero TV. We are tired of bad media fatigue. Because when you get good character drama inside superhero shows like this, and nobody's talking about it, nobody's talking about how good Gen V is, it drives me insane. I love when shows have episodes with clear central through lines, not just having a central plot, but having a theme around that central plot. Gen V does this perfectly in episode 5 with The Kids Aren't Alright. And yes, you guessed it correctly, it's the mental health episode, where all of these young adults, everybody's trauma and coping mechanisms boil over, and this title for the episode couldn't be more accurate. Every character in this episode is basically forced to confront this ugly version of themselves. And the beauty of Gen V is that all of their powers have some type of disorder, literal physical metaphors for what's broken inside them. Emma is clearly bulimic. Her powers are tied to purging, literally making her small or big based on control and her own shame. It's a brutal body horror version of disordered eating, and it's handled so damn cool, and with actually some respectful thought as well. Marie is a self-harmer. Her power requires her to cut herself. Every time she uses her gift, she reopens a wound. She's weaponized her own pain because it's the only way she knows how to feel powerful. As I said before, Jordan deals with self-hate and identity dysmorphia. Their power lets them change gender, but it's tied to confidence and control. They constantly shapeshift, not just to survive, but to hide from how much they hate being seen. Sam embodies psychosis and trauma-induced dissociation. His hallucinations and outbursts mirror the fractured reality he's been trapped in for so long. This motherfucker has superhuman level strength, and it's terrifying, but it's also actually his curse. Kate's main thing is her emotional burnout and guilt about everything. Her power is literally about controlling people, but she's always being controlled by others. These motherfuckers are cooking. She's always being used by shame, manipulation, responsibility. Every time she takes someone's mind, she loses another piece of her own. Andre's arc before everything happened was about carrying generational pressure and grief, his father's expectations and failing health, turned his gift into a burden. His powers are literally magnetism. He's constantly pulled by other people's expectations, stuck between obligation and freedom. Even Cypher, who steps into the villain role this season, represents narcissism and control addiction. His whole thing is puppeteering others because it's the only way he feels secure. It's total domination masked as self-worth. What I love about this episode is that it doesn't feel like a PSA. It's not trying to teach you about mental illness. It's showing you how the systems in this world created it. These kids aren't broken by accident. They're products of a society that experiments on them, monetizes them, and then calls it destiny. Do you see now why I glaze the show? It's tragic, it's messy, it's real, and that's why I think the kids aren't alright. Mike, quietly. Shh. Quietly. This episode for me takes all of the superhero spectacle and just goes, yeah, but look at all the damage all of this superhero shit caused. The show isn't saying great power comes with
Don't you dare finish that sentence. Don't do it. I'm sick of
that lame shit. Get over yourself, Ben, you're washed. It's saying that trauma doesn't excuse what you do next, and that's very, very powerful. And then of course you have Cypher, aka Thomas Godokin himself.
It's you!
Easily one of the most chilling villains inside the universe ever introduced. He's smart, weird, manipulative, always 2 steps ahead. He's the kind of villain that doesn't need to yell to scare you. He just kind of feels like he always knows too much. But then the twist hits. Cypher isn't Cypher. He's actually a puppet. And the real villain is a burnt up corpse and the founder of the university who's been alive this entire time. It kind of ties everything together. And season 2 now isn't just about campus drama anymore. It's about the origin of Compound V itself coming back to reclaim its original experiment, Marie Monroe. And I love this escalation. It makes the spin-off feel like it matters to the main story, while being its own story. The way the universe uses cameos feels like, oh yeah, that makes sense for this person to be here, not just a, hey look, another corner of the world where we can have people cheer when the fucking Deep shows up. Gen V actually cares about the why. It's not he's strong or she can fly. It is simply about what does disability say about who these characters are. What is the cost and what's the emotional logic behind them? That's what makes this show so damn good to me. And my hatred for the MCU right now is steadily growing. It's why My Hero Academia eventually lost me, but I'll be watching and catching up back to that show to see how it ends, don't worry. I probably won't stay a hater for too long. Gen V remembers that college kids are chaotic, emotional, insecure idiots, and it writes them that way. That's the realism I crave from superhero media right now. And because this show exists under one roof, the cameos feel natural. Starlight, Victoria, they all flow seamlessly. It doesn't feel like Marvel where it's a miracle if fucking Spider-Man shows up in the story when the story is set in New York. With Marvel, it feels like I feel the corporate reasonings as to why a character isn't here or they're written out of the story. And I did not want this video to be another Marvel rant, my bad. Go watch this video if you want to see that, I guess. But now I'm about to talk about the finale. Let's rapid fire this because there's a lot to cover here. So after everything I've said, literally after everything I said, this is going to be so funny. Because this isn't just a finale issue. Season 2 itself clearly had problems due to all the rewrites of the show. Because, you know, a main character dying right before filming is gonna complicate a lot of things. Which isn't to the fault of the writers. That's why I wasn't too harsh and decided to make this video about glazing it instead. I'm gonna just say this right here. I don't even fully understand what happened with Marie saving her sister. Because in the looks of it, like, did she actually bring her back to life? Or did she just kind of like seal up her skin like a magic band-aid? And how does that even work? Because as far as I know, Marie's powers only work with blood. At least that's what the show wants me to believe. That's the whole thing, right? How was she able to just suddenly seal up her whole wound? I'm kind of calling bullshit on that. That's not in the rule book. That is not blood related, buddy. Come on. Now, what I do love, and this applies to the whole series as a whole, is how I've always loved how small scale Generation V keeps things. It doesn't need to be world ending every episode. That's honestly one of the reasons why I think it doesn't get talked about as much, and why this season especially wasn't getting talked about that much. Gen V isn't as bombastic or headline grabby as The Boys, or sometimes even like the Marvel shows really. But that's what I like about it, honestly. Season 1's finale felt contained, personal. So when Homelander showed up at the very end, it actually felt earned to connect the two shows. And I literally just praised it for doing this exact thing so well, and they just fucked it all up now. Because in the season 2 finale now, I kind of feel like the opposite thing. But before we do that, I want to have a quick discussion about the power hierarchy inside this universe now, because it's starting to feel like bullshit. It's starting to feel like a math problem no one wants to solve. So Marie and Homelander are supposed to be these godlike beings that Vault created, that are supposedly so much stronger than everybody else because they were in a different program and took a different set of Compound V. And what makes them special beyond that kind of feels like now is just what the writers say so. I never really fully understand why Victoria couldn't pop Homelander's head. What's the science behind all that? It's nitpicky bullshit, I know, but I gotta ask these questions. Because if it's just superhero magic blood juice and vibes, that's fine, but say that. Don't make me feel like I'm supposed to keep up with an invisible power chart. Where the fuck is Swag Kage when you need him? Also, I said before how I loved the Andre love this season. The homages were nice. The respect was earned the entire season. My only problem with all the Andre love is that let's not act like this man was some kind of saint now. I get not wanting to say anything bad about this character because of what happened with the actor, but let's not act like in season 1 like he was just a symbol of heroism.
You know where to run, motherfucker.
Whoa, whoa, whoa! I feel like he was eventually going to get there, but he had some rough around the edges things to him that made him an actually very compelling and a character that I really liked. Chance's performance as this privileged metal bender that once faced with the reality of the world he's been protected by this entire time, he chooses to want to do the right thing. I'm not really sure how much his heroism stems outside of his ego, and I'm so damn mad that we can't explore that anymore. It's the most frustrating thing about what happened to this character. But he was sleeping with his best friend's girl while he was still alive, and they fell in love and stuff. Let's be real here, it kind of started giving me that Kobe Bryant situation feeling. Like, we can pay respects and celebrate a person without lying. Kobe wasn't the most perfect player just because he passed away, and Andre wasn't a perfect character either. But just like both of them, I really liked everything they were doing while they were here. And another thing, I don't know if I really buy this like found family thing between the girls either. There's this one scene in the finale where they all hug and come together, and I'm just like,
I don't know.
Half the time it kind of feels like everybody hates Kate's guts and don't want to be around her because they don't trust her. I'm not really sure how much I buy all of this. And it's all sweet in theory, and I get it, trauma bond, but let's be honest. Marie has constantly spent most of this season hating Kate's guts. She wouldn't even give her powers back, and now in the finale it's suddenly like, oh, we're sisters for life. Sure? Closure, I guess? It just didn't feel earned. And you know what else didn't really feel earned and given the time that it deserved is Godogan's whole master plan, which to me is one of those, wait, that's it?
Got a blast!
He's trying to cull the herd of weak superheroes while also juicing himself up to control Marie and Homelander. And I'm just sitting here like, bro, look at yourself. Not a great plan. And this is supposed to be the smart character, mind you. And I said this before, but the pacing was just so off from episode 7 to episode 8 for me. Felt like they needed at least one more episode to really flesh everything out for me. It felt like he learned how to control Marie in like 30 minutes, even though he wasn't able to do it all season, or else he would've. And I think that's the main word for this finale for me, flat. It wasn't bad, it just lacked a little bit more juice. I think a lot of people would agree with me, but I think the actor before SpongeBob over here actually worked better for me. Thomas Linklater was acting circles over everybody in the cast. And I also know it's definitely because we got to spend a lot more time with him, but I'm sorry, it's just true. Another reason why the finale was so flat for me is that the final battle taking place in the same location we were just in the previous episode and another episode before that makes it feel like we've been fighting in this same damn training ground for like 3 episodes. Was there a lack of budget this season? Where are all the set locations? I also didn't really love how they treated Emma in this season. She had such amazing promise in season 1, but her arc this season kind of feels a little bit rushed as fuck actually. I already feel like her and Sam didn't have much to do this season, but I actually do really like what they did with Sam this season, so I'm not too mad at that. Sister Sage is in this season, and I'm sorry, I just don't like this character. Her coming in with the, actually, this is all a part of my master plan too, had me rolling my fucking eyes. Writers love doing that genius character who saw it all coming thing, but sometimes it just feels like future sight more than hyper intelligent character writing. There's good parts about this character, like her being a clearly very lonely person, clearly isolated by her smartness. There's something there, but let me not get too ahead of myself. Like I said,
Next time, baby.
honestly, it just feels like a setup finale, not a conclusion to a season. And that's what bugs me the fucking most. I hate shit like that. I'm gonna call you out every time if not done well. And it's hilarious for a show that mocks the MCU formula. Gen V Season 2 and the Vault universe as a whole has been slowly falling into the same things they satire. Oh, how the turns table. Like, don't worry guys, the real season is next season. Yeah, I'll be honest.
Don't nobody wanna hear that shit!
Don't give me that shit. Stick the landing now. It's so annoying to me because season 1 is very, very special to me. And even season 2 started off really good. They had such strong character work this season. Legitimately some of the best writing in the boys universe on some of these characters. But you can't build that much momentum and then fumble at the finish line and expect people to not have a bad taste in their mouth. That's why there's so much disdain over season 4 of The Boys. But like I said,
Next time, baby.
so here's what I'm thinking. Gen V Season 1, I'm giving it a 9 out of 10. One of my favorite seasons of TV inside this universe. Easily. Gen V Season 2, however, I was 7 out of 10. I was juggling between an 8 and an 8.5 for half the season, but this finale sure knocked it down a peg, I'm not gonna lie. You have to stick the landing. It's not bad TV, it's just a bunch of unserious writing and moments where it needed to go for the jugular. And I hear some whispers on the grapevine about the creators planning for a season 3, and I honestly don't know what they're thinking with that because they already used the creator of the university. What else they got in their sleeve? So yeah, all in all, Gen V proves that college campuses are the perfect setting for drama. You got ambition, insecurity, rivalry, stupidity. It makes it all believable inside this setting. These aren't geniuses trying to save the world. They're kids trying to figure out who they are in a world that doesn't care about them. And even in a superhero world, that's always how it's going to be. This show is gross, thoughtful, and genuinely emotional in ways most superhero media never are. If you're here for the gore, you'll get fed. If you're here for the character work, the kitchen is fucking open still. And if you're here for all the wrinkly ball sacks every episode, I'm not gonna judge you for that, but I know who you are. Seek help. Gen V isn't perfect, but it's exactly what superhero TV needed right now. Something self-aware and character-driven and unafraid to get weird. And I'll be honest, despite my bitching, if they decide to do a season 3, I'm not gonna lie, I'm watching that shit for Maddie Phillips alone.
Did you tell me this was over? There ain't no use talking it over. Why didn't you try to tell me sooner? But didn't you tell me this was over?